Now that everything's all clean, I'm going to start putting it back together. These are the main seals. I always use the All Balls Racing seals. They've always been very good for me, and they've helped me find custom applications and stuff like that too. These ones are specifically for this bike. It's important too to make sure you put these in the correct way. There's a little diagram on here that says which way they need to go. It says dual sealing lips towards oil. So in that case, the oil is down. So yeah, you'd want them to be aiming down. Once you open it up, you'll see there's one lip on the top and two on the bottom. They should be aiming down towards the oil. If you put them in the wrong way, they will leak. So yeah, you can see now, there's two. 1, 2. So you want those aiming down. The other way would be like this, and that's wrong. So this thing was all corroded in here, so I'm gonna put a little bit of grease before install these seals just to kind of lube this up a little bit. This lube is specific for seals. It's actually meant to go on the seal to help it have less stiction. Seal driver, or you can use a socket. I usually just use a big socket to knock it in. So putting the washer back in there, and the retainer clip to keep the seal from popping out. Make sure it's all clipped in. That's all good. This is seal lube. Something I use on mountain bikes. I don't know if people normally use it on motorcycles, but I always use it. It helps lubricate the seal. It also helps keep dirt out. This stuff is called slick honey. You get at a motorcycle shop. Probably won't be able to fully tighten this until I put the spring back in it, because it's just going to be spinning. Just like I said, when you take it apart, same deal. Snug. But it's not probably going to get fully tight because now it's spinning. So tighten it a little bit more once we get it all put back together. I'm going to be putting 20 weight oil. A lot of people just use 10W30 on these little bikes. I've used like 15 weight and a similar fork, and I think it was still a little bit fast on the rebound and a little bit fast on the compression. So I'm going to try 20 weight in here and see how it goes. Online they recommend, or in the manual they recommend, about 145 cc's of oil, which seems kind of low to me. And I've heard people say that comes out to an air gap of about 195 millimeters. So the air gap is the amount of air that is left in here with the fork fully compressed and no spring in the fork. And that air gap kind of makes the fork, well, it can make it more progressive for bottoming out if there's less air there. So the more oil you put in, the less air gap. So normally I do about like 130 millimeters of air gap. So I'm going to start with the 145 cc's in here, and then I don't have there's actually a tool that you can use to measure exactly 130 millimeters or whatever you want, and it sucks the oil out to that point. I don't have that, so I just have this set at 130 millimeters, and I'll stick it in there. I'll be able to tell where it is when I want it. So I'm gonna start out with, say, 150 and see where that gets me, and then add a little bit more oil until I get the 130 gap. You gotta cycle it a few times to get it all in there. So I'm just kind of looking down the side here to see. So it looks like right now it's probably about 160 millimeter gap from the top. So I'm going to add another 25 cc's. So that's 175 cc's total now. That's actually a little too much. So I probably should have done 160 or 170. Still a tiny bit too much. Almost perfect. More preload, you could put a longer spacer in there. We're not going to do that yet. You could also change the length of the fork so you can put a spacer underneath the emulator, top out spacer, and that will reduce the travel. At the same time though, that will also add more preload too. If you don't want more preload, you have to cut some of the spring. I'm not going to do any of that for right now. Preload spacer in. And the top cap. I'll be able to fully tighten up the cap until all this is back on the bike. Because you just won't be able to get enough torque on there. It's going to slip. You could try to use like that strap wrench, but probably won't work.
Really? Come here, Bernoulli.
Quit screwing around. Try and tighten this up. That's that.